What does it mean to be engaged in today's workplace? How do we inspire, inform, and connect a working community? How do we build a culture of irreplaceability, trust, and listening to keep people on board and rowing together? Welcome to Post-COVID Leadership Advice. This series is all about building a workplace culture where people feel heard, supported, informed, and connected. This is a roadmap for leaders at any level, at any organization. Speakers pools. This is a great way of what we call fattening the pipeline. So creating those leadership skills at a very early stage in a person's professional development. So from new joiner on, we start training people to become speakers. So a lot of employees are really happy to do the same thing year after year, day after day, and they stay forever. That kind of employee is no longer the norm. As people get younger and they're entering the workforce, the expectations are changing. People don't just want to be there for life. They want to grow and they want to change. And if the organization isn't offering that opportunity to do that in the role, they will look for it outside the organization. So what is one way, an easy, quick way to offer a path forward without actually having that conversation about career movement? Maybe there's no opportunity for this person in the future, but there are things that person can do. And one of them is to create a speakers pool. So what is a speakers pool? It's a group of people who are not necessarily a first choice speaker, who are good at what they do in terms of they're able to stand up in front of a crowd, they're able to keep people engaged and laughing, they have perhaps a good sense of humor, and they don't necessarily look like the average CEO. So they can be young, they can be in their mid-senior career, they can be on their way out. It doesn't really matter as long as it's a very, very diverse pool, from people who have just joined the organization literally a couple of weeks ago to people who have been there for 35 years. It doesn't matter as long as you have that diversity. Diverse cultural backgrounds as well, ages, gender, ranges, the way people express themselves. The most diversity that you can possibly generate in this way, the better. So a speakers pool is literally a group of 10 to 12 people or more that meet once a month. They get training as to how to speak publicly. They get training in storytelling. They get training in writing to make their points very, very clear and concise. They get a lot of practice. So anytime you have these high-level, high-visibility town halls or company days or high-level, let's say, presentations, and the CEO or the CIO, CFO, the people that are normally tapped to give these presentations are not available, they're too busy, you say yes to every single engagement. And the CEO or CFO who originally had that engagement can then pass on a lot of these, delegate these things to one of the members of the speakers pool. So let's say a CIO is tapped to give a talk at some conference. Well, they can't be available, but they have a pool of 12 people, young people who represent the organization, who can speak on their behalf. Most of the times, the organizers of the events are happy to have somebody else come and talk who doesn't necessarily have a flashy title, or that it's a combination. It's a high level combined with somebody else from that speakers pool. This creates a really good impression. It's great for employer marketing, and it's really good optics in general for the company. Hey, look at this. This is a company that puts these people out in front, these people who are not fancy CIOs. These are people who have very humble titles that deal with a customer every single day, and we value that person. We value what they have to say, so that's why they are chosen to speak. So what does this say to somebody who's applying to that company? Wow, this is a company where I too can have a speaking role if I'm good at it and I feel like it, after a month of the organization, if that's something that I pursue. So a speakers pool is this cache of people that can always be drawn on to take on these tasks. It's good for optics. It's good for the high-level person who doesn't have a crazy schedule, they don't have to do all of these things. They can rely on the speakers pool to do it. So, speakers pools is a triple win. It's engagement increaser for the entire company. It's great for engagement for the speakers themselves. It's great for the high-level leaders because they have a couple of tasks off their plate. And it's very good for employer marketing for that external optic vibe that you can put out there. So, speakers pools. Thank you for being a part of this episode. Subscribe, follow, so you never have to miss another one. These ideas are based on the Comic Books for Executive series. Go to postcovidhandbook.com